What's going on, everybody? My name is Jason. This here is Zeke. We work at All Out Bikes, and we've got something really exciting today. We have the all-new Velotric Summit 1. This is brand new. They just came out with it, and we are trying to get this video out as soon as we can because there isn't a single video on YouTube about the Summit 1, at least that I could find out. So it's supposed to be Velotric's newest bike. It's got a 750 watt motor with a 1300 watt peak. It's going to have 27.5 wheels. This particular one is a regular size frame, which is supposed to be for someone who is, I forgot, I'll let you know what the size is. It's going to have some of the newest technology. It's going to have a torque sensor on there, from what I understand, as well as a throttle. This is supposed to be really fun, so I'm a little excited. I don't even know what color this thing is. Can you tell me what color it is? The blue. Yes, it's a nice royal blue. It's probably going to look amazing. It's going to have an oil dampened front suspension fork, Shimano shifting derailleur. You ready to get this thing put together?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do an unboxing. Don't dull that nice knife of yours.
I'm not dull, it has badly, but it is definitely going to be dull after this.
I don't know what he said. Y'all can tell me. Looks like they packaged this thing pretty good.
Yep.
Who left that cell phone on?
You.
Me. Yep. It's intense. It's exciting. Look at that face. He's all excited. Oh, look at the size of those tires. Those things are...
big. Those are like almost 3.0s. That color's pretty good looking too.
Oh my gosh. Look at that massive head tube on there. It's got a nice looking stem.
Pretty cool looking color as
I
well.
don't know what that fork is yet. We're going to find out. I couldn't find anything on that. Okay. Here, you grab the back side, I'll grab the front, and we'll lift it on out.
It's metal. Looks like a decent fork.
You ready? Oh my gosh. Look at that hub. That mat. Oh, that is such a pretty color. Anything else in the box? Guess not. Okay. Okay. You got friendly cutters.
Do you want to start charging the battery?
Yeah.
Either in that box or this.
Yeah, you keep on. Should be that.
In this box.
Yeah. You keep on doing that. I will get this thing plugged in. Check this out. Look, in this box, check it out. They've got pedals, accessories, charger.
The pedals that I have.
All labeled really cool. Let's see.
This is definitely not an insertion for it.
They actually have some.
It's an up EH. I don't know what that is, but
Oh, it doesn't look half bad.
It's a coil, I believe.
Could be.
Yes.
Those aren't bad pedals.
Pretty
Oh
good.
man, it's a one-piece.
And they're light too.
But feel the spikes. They're not replaceable spikes, but man, if your foot slips on this, that's gonna, or it's not gonna hurt because it's gonna cut you so bad.
But it's a DU34. Does that mean it's got a boost for me?
Yeah, it should be 110. Wow, this is a fancy looking charger. They've got a wall mount for this thing so you can hang it on your wall.
This thing is beefy as well.
Look at all the pins inside of there.
Interesting.
That's complicated looking.
In the frame, then.
Look at the rims.
Yeah, rims are pretty cool.
They do look pretty cool. The battery is actually on the underside of the down tube,
Yeah.
which I don't know how I feel about that because water and mud's going to be kind of kicked up.
It's nice and covered though.
It does have a good cover?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, this is brand new. We
Looks like it's got a pretty beefy cover.
yeah, this is all new. Look at the size of that tube.
Cool. Surprised it doesn't have the new Altus on it.
Yeah,
It's got the old Altus.
that's still good.
It's an interesting change.
Well, since it's got the old Altus, that must mean it's an 8-speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's okay. I like 8-speed because 8-speed is bomb-proof.
The Altus is
Look, there can be an argument with going either way.
yeah, I really like that 2x9.
I like the reliability of the 8-speed. I can't seem to find a plug close enough. Well, that's going to be crossing over the floor, and
I wasn't expecting to leave it in there.
well, I don't know where the keys are yet.
There's a thing right here.
Yeah, but where's the keys?
Probably in that box or the one that's attached.
Probably in the accessories box. Zeke, they're right here. Keys are on the handlebars.
I was expecting more substantial amount of key, not just a little tiny thing.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Okay. Already. That is a nice touch because turning that key, that battery wants to fall. So cool.
It's a big battery.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
that drops most of the weight that this bike has.
So as far as the battery goes, it is a 14.7 amp hour, minimum 14.4. It is a 705.6 watt hour. It's a 48 volt battery. It's going to say that it's 54.6 if we put a ohms meter to it. So, okay. Let's get this thing plugged in. So that's the blue right there. That is a very pretty blue. We've got a chain guide right here. Our professional bike mechanic working hard there. So this is what this thing looks like right now. It actually looks really good. Zeke, what's your first impressions on it?
It looks very nice, yeah. I do like that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it does look really good. I just love the size of the frame here. It's so far looking pretty good. 8-speed Shimano in the back, which 8-speed, I like 8-speed. 8-speed tends to have less maintenance to it. It tends to shift really well. Now it doesn't give you the range of like 9 or 10 speeds, but the nice thing about this is you can always upgrade this to a 9, 10 speed if you want. You can even go as much as 11 speed because Shimano does have an 11 speed that will work with this free hub body. But let's go ahead and put this thing on time lapse. Let's get this thing put together, and I feel like taking this thing out for a test ride after we're done putting it together. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Zeke, a man of few words. Let's get this going. Okay, before we go any further, in the video we talk about hesitation on this, and what happened is we ended up finding out that the rear brake lever on this was defective. Okay, so there's a switch inside of the brake lever that actually tells the computer if the brake lever is being applied. Well, whenever that happens, it cuts power to the rear hub so that you don't accidentally overheat the motor as you're going full blast with the motor and trying to stop at the same time. So it's a safety thing, and it's also a durability thing. But we figured that out because I did notice that the rear taillight was actually bright, and the So I did notice that it looked like one of the brake levers were actually being applied. After I unplugged the front one and it didn't make any difference, I unplugged the rear one and it did go out. So that's telling me that the rear brake lever is out of adjustment, and either I can do an adjustment on that or we need to replace it, one or the other. We're probably just going to go ahead and replace it, but by doing so we solved all those problems. So that is why it was hesitating, because the brake lever was starting to get stuck, and the brakes themselves weren't being affected. It was the switch that was getting stuck in the brake lever. Now this has a nice aluminum frame. I love how massive this frame is. It looks like it's a well-built frame. But what I love about this is they actually have this where whenever you put the battery in to drop the battery out, it actually has a little latch right here that catches the battery, keeping the battery from falling. So what you can do is you just push this latch down and then the battery comes right on out after you have two hands free. It's going to have some very bright front and rear lights, and I love the color screen that's on this Velotric, this new Summit, and it does look really good. It just really lights up good. I love the color coding there. It's really nice. It's going to have a Shimano Altus. Now that's a lower end component group. It's very entry level, but it's not at the same time, because there's so many other e-bikes that are using other components from Microshift and such, and the Shimano, it's a well-designed component group. It works very well, and you can get replacement parts at any good reputable bike shop. It's going to have some very nice double-walled aluminum rims, front and rear. I love the three-piece cranks, although I wish that they actually had a nicer crankset on here. It's adequate, okay? But what can you ask? You can't ask too much for a bike that goes for $17.99. So with everything that it comes equipped with, it is very, very good. No complaints, no real complaints. That is, I was complaining a little bit about the crank. Oversized aluminum handlebars with a very nice stem. A front suspension fork. It does say that it's a hydraulic suspension fork, and it is a hydraulic suspension fork. The only part that's hydraulic is the lockout that's on here. Now they do have a very clean look on this bike, because they do have the wires and the housing actually going through the frame here, so you don't have any of the unsightly cables on the outside. It does make it a little bit more difficult whenever you want to replace the cables in the future, but we're used to it, and any good reputable shop will be able to take care of it for you without much issue. If they start complaining about the cables being internally routed, it's actually not that big of a deal on this one. I think Velotric actually did a really good job on this, because this bike, I would have guessed, was well into the $2,000 price range. So we are actually out here to give it a test ride. Zeke has the pleasure of being the first person to actually try this out. How do you feel?
Good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Give it a spin.
the pedaling is really nice. I like that. The torque sensor is a lot nicer than what I'm used to. Pedal assist feels really good. It's actually doing what it should. I'm pedaling, which is nice. It feels pretty nimble. It's heavy, but it feels nimble. I don't really know if I can not have any grip on these pedals. of grip for this bike. It's very quick though. It gets going really quickly. This ride's very nice. I like this.
Power's good?
Yeah, power's really good. It's very fast.
Okay.
It gets going, and I like the pedal assist. It's a lot better than any one that I've used so far.
Okay. Is there anything that you would do to it?
I'd change the pedals primarily. They don't really have a whole lot of grip for me.
How's the size feel? That's the regular size.
Yeah,
How
size
tall are you?
feels good. I'm like 5'8",
Okay.
almost 5'9".
Yeah, so that
It feels pretty good.
yeah, there's a regular
There's
and
enough
a
room
large.
between me and the frame, which is good, and it feels my size whenever I'm riding it.
Well, give it a spin a little bit more, and then I want to try it. The cameraman wants to try it.
Okie dokie. It does not slow down at all going uphill. It just continues to go full power.
So it's got
really
pretty
good. Yeah.
pretty good get up and go.
Yeah, it really does. It was a little weird with the pedal or with the brakes though. I'm not really sure it's with that. Like whenever you hit the brakes and then let go, it takes like a good 15-20 seconds for it to be able to
Engage.
start going again.
Yeah.
It's like the whole time I was going down the hill there, nothing. It wasn't doing anything when I first launched off.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Now you can go further and you can talk.
Already at 97%.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty new.
Yeah. I think it got up to 31 down the hill and was still giving it power, which is very fun. Here we go again. Come on. Power V's. Something here. Come on, do something. This is not doing anything. It's just doing nothing. Oh, there it goes. This thing's fun. It's really quick too.
Good.
I like this a lot.
Your honest opinion?
A 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest of it's mostly just the pedals.
What's that?
The rest of it's mostly just the pedals. Don't have any grip.
So you don't like the pedals,
Nope.
and
The fork is okay.
the fork is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me go grab my helmet and I can give it a test ride.
Okie dokie.
Okay, Zeke, what are your thoughts on this bike?
I like the way it feels, and it's very fast. It gets moving really quickly, and I like the pedal assist. It's nice. It's very fine-tuned compared to what I'm normally used to.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a hesitation at one point for me.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of hesitation for you as well.
I don't know if I had any hesitations with it now.
Okay, there was one point where I was pushing the throttle and it wasn't responding, but I stopped pushing on the throttle and I stopped pedaling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a couple of those.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't go for like 30 seconds. I don't really know why. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was doing that, and I kept messing with it, and it wasn't working. So I think what it was the computer was just kind of thinking a little bit, and it only did it to me once. But see, I kept messing with it, and I was like, what in the world? But then I was like, fine, and I let go of everything, and I counted to 5, and then I started going again. It was fine. So apparently, it was in a spot where it was trying to think of what I wanted to do, and since I kept on messing with it, it didn't want to do it. But it's very fast. Now, this is supposed to be speed limited to 20, but we did unlock it, and we got it up to, maybe around 25. Now, we did take it. We did take it to Mexico for a short trip. That was a quick trip, because at one point the computer, whenever I was in Mexico, I don't know if it's easier to go faster in Mexico, but whenever I was in Mexico, it said that I was reaching speeds of 32.9 at one point. I don't know. We'll see. Thankfully, I've got this Garmin camera, and we can compare the speed that the Garmin says to what the screen says, and we'll see how accurate it was. Now, keep in mind, that North Carolina, the top speed for an e-bike is, what is the top speed for e-bikes in North Carolina? $750 watts maximum and a maximum speed of 20 miles per hour on flat surfaces. We had to go to Mexico to really test out the top speed on this bike. Where in Mexico was it that we went to, Zeke?
I don't know.
We took this to Mexico to get a top speed run on it, and it was a little town called, what was it, Los Teteles?
Yes.
That's what it looks like. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but people kept on giggling about that town. I don't know why. I don't speak Spanish, but we got this up to, after we, recalibrated the computer just for science. It actually said that it got up to, for me, it said it got up to 32.9. I weigh more than you do. You got it up to a slower speed, didn't you?
Yeah, like 31.
31. Now, it's supposed to only go up to 28. And whenever we have it on the stand here and we've got it going, it was only reaching 28 miles per hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was weird that it was reaching speeds faster, but maybe the air in Mexico is a little bit thinner than here. I don't know. So right here, you can actually see what the top speed of the bike. For me, it said it was 32.9. I don't know if that's actually the speed. We're going to find out. So what we've got is we've got a 750 watt with a 1300 watt peak rear motor. Okay. We've got Shimano components. Now this is going to be the Shimano Altus, which is it's a lower end component group, but it's way better than any of the microshift and other components. It's a lot more consistent. It does shift well, and it's a very reliable component group. It does very well. Wouldn't you say there, Zeke?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. It's going to have a KMC chain. It's an 8x1 component group. It's a very nice aluminum frame here. The front fork it's just a spring fork. It says it's a hydraulic fork, and it is. It's a hydraulic lockout. There is no oil dampening on this. But again, what do you expect for an e-bike with a 1300 peak watt motor? What can you expect for $17.99? I think this is a lot of bike for the money. It is trail worthy, not aggressive trails. I'm going to say it's good for hiking trails, no jumping, just tearing around the trails at a you can take it at a higher speed. I mean, after all, you saw the speed that this thing got up to. It does have double-walled aluminum rims. It's going to have the Shimano hydraulic disc brakes on here, which uses mineral oil. You do have front and rear taillights. I'm sorry, a rear taillight and a front light. That actually works pretty good. An oversized aluminum handlebar. Issues that we've had with this bike. What were some of the issues?
It would struggle sometimes to engage while you were riding it. Like, it just wouldn't go for.
It wasn't a struggle. It was a hesitation.
Yeah.
And then don't forget about the disc brakes. The front disc was really warped, and that's nothing to do with Velotric. That either it has something. This is a brand new bike, and either they packed it, they need to repack it a slightly different way, or it was the shipping. The shipping, it could have been damaged. After all, as you see right there, that rim did get really scratched up in shipping. Let me see what else. I mean, were we having? I mean, the rear brake was rubbing quite a bit. I would suggest you actually have your local bike shop put this together, is what I would suggest, because this was not that easy to put. Actually, it was really easy to put together. It's just the front wheel was out of true. The disc brake on the front wheel was badly warped. The rear brake was rubbing quite a bit. We had to readjust that. What other issues? Okay. I love the bike. I really love the bike. Zeke here loves the bike. I do see one thing I would suggest. See, right here, the wires go into the top of the headset here, and the wiring goes into the frame. Okay, and from the looks of it, let's turn this thing around. There is no stop. So if you keep turning the handlebars around like this, it's very possible that you could damage the wiring in there. So I'm a little surprised that there's no stop. So just be aware of that. Don't wreck. Otherwise, I mean, Zeke here said that he'd give this bike a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, so far, for the money, I think I'd have to go a little farther on this. I think I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10 because it's a sub $2,000 bike. Technically, it's a sub $1,800 bike because it's $1,799.99. I like it. It's fun. It's fast. We're going to have to ensure that this thing... Did we ever set this thing back to 20 miles per hour for North Carolina?
Nope.
I don't think we did. Okay, so we've got to fix that because we don't want to be breaking any laws in North Carolina. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful at all, leave us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to tell your friends. Check out some of the other videos on the corner of the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Thanks.